Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 17 Pro and compare it against the iPhone 15 Pro and see which particular iPhone is the better one for you. Now, I will definitely tell you if you're coming from either one of these iPhones, let's say you're coming from an iPhone 11 or 12, both of these are going to be pretty big upgrades. If you have all the money in the world, though, get the iPhone 17 Pro. It's a much better phone, but I still think I might stick with my personal iPhone 15 Pro that I have on the left side. But if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description below. You can get that from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular iPhones. They're both a little different, right? You can see that they are both Pro iPhones. The iPhone 15 Pro came out in 2023, and within this iPhone, it was giving you a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It got fairly bright at the time. It's a ProMotion display as well, so things like that still look great. But the only thing is that this panel, I would say it's not the brightest panel even since then. A lot of flagships have gotten a lot brighter, including the 17 Pro. But I haven't really been complaining too much about this type of device because I've been using it as my main device. But I will tell you, it still looks great. It still is a really good panel. And I don't really think I would upgrade just because of the panel. But the iPhone 17 Pro is giving you a little bit of a bigger design. So this one is giving you a 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this panel is slightly bigger, so that right there is kind of a nice touch. It's also going to be giving you a brighter panel as well. 3000 nits of peak brightness on the iPhone 17 Pro. And that right there is a really big advantage, I would say, for something like an iPhone 17 Pro over something like an iPhone 15 Pro. In terms of the thickness and thickness, they're both roughly around the same. I would say maybe the 17 Pro is a little bit thicker, but you can kind of see in the hand, it's not that big of a difference. But you can kind of tell that the 15 Pro is a little bit sleeker, it feels like, than something like the iPhone 17 Pro. It's kind of what the top looks like. Both of them have USB Type-C ports. I do have this kind of cracked screen protector on my iPhone 15 Pro, and this is what it looks like on the side. My 15 Pro is a little crusty because I have a case on it for like a while. But another advantage, the iPhone 17 Pro does give you that camera button. The iPhone 15 Pro does not have a camera button there. On the back side, this is what both of them look like. And for the most part, the design of the iPhone 17 Pro is definitely far more unique. You can definitely tell this type of phone has a really interesting design to it. Some people might love it, some people might hate it, but that is going to be kind of a slight difference when you kind of look at both these devices, from that particular standpoint. So it kind of just depends on how you kind of want to take a look at it. But for me personally, I think both these still do a pretty good job. So that kind of covers it up from the outside. I think both of them still look great. But I don't know, again, when it comes down to the design, I don't think there's really anything on the exterior that I would go from one iPhone to the other, kind of as far as I can tell. Now, one other thing to keep in mind here too, is that when it comes down to the price tag, the iPhone 15 Pro is significantly cheaper now than something like the iPhone 17 Pro. The 17 Pro costs like $1,099, which is pretty expensive. The iPhone 15 Pro, you can probably get it for like $500, maybe even less than that, depending on the condition. And I don't feel like this phone is like half the phone of an iPhone 17 Pro. So when it does kind of come down to that price tag standpoint, it kind of just depends on it to you. But, if you have all the money, go for the 17 Pro, like I've been saying. But I feel like the iPhone 15 Pro is still giving you like a pretty good value per dollar for sure. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 15 Pro and the 17 Pro, they're both giving you good chipsets. The 15 Pro is giving you the A17 Pro chip with 8 gigs of RAM. The iPhone 17 Pro is giving you the Apple A19 Pro chipset inside, basically with 12 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster iPhone between both of these. Okay, now we're back. All the apps are cleared out in the background. Now this one's going to be a quick one. I will have to do a full one at some point. Let's go and just start opening up some random applications. Now, one thing you'll definitely tell is that immediately from what I can see, already the 17 Pro is already doing a little bit faster there. One other thing to keep in mind here too is that I do have iOS 18.7 on my iPhone 15 Pro. So I don't know if that's going to be that big of a difference. But so far from that first application, not anything super crazy. I do have some of these like other standard apps that I've had between both, and we can kind of get an idea. I messed up on that one, but we can kind of get an idea on what they're going to look like between both as well. Now, one thing I'll definitely say is that from my experience, the iPhone 17 Pro is probably going to be the faster one in almost every single way. So I would imagine that if you're going to go through and grab an iPhone, you're definitely going to be getting a faster experience from something like an iPhone 17 Pro. But I want to also have one thing to make sure that everyone kind of keeps in mind is that you're going to notice the bigger differences in a lot of like heavier types of games. So if you're going through and like installing a bunch of games on your phone and doing those types of things, that's when you're going to start seeing kind of these bigger differences. I would say other than that, you're probably not going to notice like massive differences, at least from going from like one game or one application to the other or one phone to the other. I would say, of course, the 17 Pro is going to be the faster one. There's no doubt about it. But I would say if you're looking at it from like a sheer like computational standpoint, like loading up a game and seeing how fast that game is and glitches and stuff, you know, if you're not comparing them side by side, I genuinely don't think you would even notice that big of a difference. And I've been testing the iPhone 17 Pro quite a bit against some other iPhones. The differences are, there are some differences like that, but are you going to go and upgrade your phone just for that like 0.1 second difference? I don't really know if you would, right? Because I don't think I would. And that's kind of how I feel about it. There's other things to go and consider between these types of phones, but I don't think the performance is even that big of a difference from an iPhone 15 Pro to an iPhone, 17 Pro. Maybe if you go grab an iPhone 14 Pro, maybe there'll be a bigger difference there, but from what I can tell, there's not as big of a difference from that standpoint. So kind of keep that in mind for the most part. Now, one other area I really want to go and make sure everyone kind of knows about is also with their cameras. Now, the cameras are also very interesting because they're both very, very good cameras still. The iPhone 15 Pro is giving you a triple camera setup, same thing with the iPhone 17 Pro. I think one big area to always keep in mind is kind of the zooming in and zooming out. So if we go and kind of take a look at the zooming in, zooming out, you can see right here between both, the iPhone 17 Pro, they all both give you 0.5x lenses, but the iPhone 17 Pro can give you 40x zoom, where the iPhone 15 Pro gives you 15x zoom. So there's a very big difference there. You can zoom in a lot more inside of something like the iPhone 17 Pro than the iPhone 15 Pro. I would still say something like the iPhone 15 Pro camera is still pretty good though. You can do, a lot of capability here. I would say the photos and videos I've taken on my 15 Pro have been very good. I filmed lots of YouTube videos on this thing. I've taken lots of photos on this thing as well, and I haven't really had too many complaints. You still have video mode, obviously cinematic mode, things like that. So this type of camera, for the most part, I would say on the iPhone 15 Pro is still actually very, very good. But with something like the iPhone 17 Pro, this one is giving you a lot more zooming in, which is really cool. So being able to zoom in that much is actually really, really awesome. You're also able to still maintain cinematic mode and all these other things. But I think one other really cool thing about the iPhone 17 Pro now is that center stage capability on the front side. So you're going to be getting this really nice center stage capability, which is really cool. And that right there, I think is going to be a really nice thing to basically have. So I feel like if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, getting a phone with center stage is really awesome. And it is really like a really big difference. Also, when it comes down to their battery life, the iPhone 17 Pro is rated to be lasting longer. And also when it comes down to software longevity, the iPhone 17 Pro is also going to last longer than the iPhone 15 Pro. So now that we're at the end of the video, how do these two iPhones compare? Now, I think the iPhone 15 Pro is still a better value per dollar. If you have like $500, $550, or even less to spend, something like the iPhone 15 Pro would make a lot of sense to buy. It's a beautiful iPhone, it has so much capability inside of it, and this is one of those types of devices that has a really good camera still, pretty decent battery life, really good performance still as well, and you get Apple Intelligence if you really care about it. And because it's a used phone now, you can buy these things for significantly cheaper than when they first retailed for. Otherwise, I think the 17 Pro, it is a good upgrade for sure. The brighter display, the better camera, those are kind of the main things I'm seeing. Even the new design is not that big of a difference for me. The camera is like a good upgrade, but I'm not using my camera that much. The performance I'm not really going to notice that much. It seems very much like it's a good upgrade if you want to spend the money. If you have the money, then go for it. But I wouldn't really be like inclined to necessarily go and upgrade from my 15 Pro to a 17 Pro. But that center stage capability on the front, it is a really nice feature to have. So that's kind of how I see these phones kind of holding up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.